Is it recording? Are you sure?
Yep.
I'm saying that because you look ugly today.
Because worried about doing that because you put it on.
I don't know, it stayed on. Yeah, it stayed on. I'm a fragile actor, don't knock me.
Sorry, mate.
That's okay.
You were awesome.
That's okay, thank you. I knew you did that.
You press that button now.
Take it now. How many buttons are there to press? Oh yeah, it goes down.
You got it?
I got it. I got it.
Sweet as a nut, mate.
Here we go. Hello, yes, welcome back once again to the Collapsing Pocket Podcast. My name is Rob Wood, you can always call me Wardy, and here on our post-draft special, I am joined by the consensus #1 overall pick, Simon Carroll.
Good evening, mate.
And I'm joined by Mr. Irrelevant, Sam Aykroyd.
Hey, come on. He knew he was coming, he's gutted. Awesome.
How's that for an opening? How's that for an opening?
When did the penny drop that you were being lumbered with that?
When did the Richard drop, as we're going to call it?
That's fine. The thing is, no one's ever disappointed with Mr. Irrelevant, but everyone's disappointed with #1 consensus
Not everyone.
pick.
Okay, I did a bit of research on this. Do you know someone who was Mr. Irrelevant, still relevant in today's NFL?
Go on.
Kicker.
Oh, the cat?
Not the cat.
Oh,
no, he
Graham
was
Gano.
kicker for the Chiefs. Currently the kicker for the Titans, regarded as one of the better kickers in the league. You're gonna have to suck it up, Sam. Ryan Suckup,
Oh,
2014 Mr. Irrelevant, arguably the most successful Mr. Irrelevant of all time.
Until now.
Until now.
Hot take.
Who was it? Do you remember who it was?
Trey Quinn, I think.
There you
go,
Trey
From
Quinn, there we go.
SMU went to Washington. No, going
Brilliant, Mr. Irrelevant. That is, of course, for those not in the know, the very last pick taken overall in the NFL
I
draft.
think it's a bit mean, that. Very mean-spirited.
Well, they kind of embrace it, don't they? They get
I
the shirt.
thought you meant him getting called it. I was about to say, you're lucky you weren't an undrafted free agent, mate.
This is our, as I say, our post-draft pod. We're going to be here a while, folks. We're going to go through every single draft pick and give our analysis on the one.
In the first round, that is.
It's going to be like a Ken Dog gig. Sam's brought his thermos of coffee. I've got the sandwiches. We're stuck down here for the night. No, not really.
No.
We're not really going to do that. We're going to go through the first round mainly. We're going to pick out some notable choices made in rounds 2 to 7.
The ones you might see in the NFL next year, basically.
The ones you might see in the NFL next year. I will be offering comments and possibly insight.
A bit of long snapper talk.
Was the long snapper talk?
There was one taken.
There was a punter, wasn't there? The punter went quite high as well.
Well, yeah. And a kicker. And a long snapper.
Well, yeah, fantastic.
And a fullback, just to round out the...
Was it?
Punters went, wasn't it?
That's what I like.
Really?
Left field thinking. Fantastic. Right. But before we get stuck into it all, I just thought I'd kind of throw it out there to open up some. If you would say maybe one general take, Sam, one sort of final thought as a kind of overview of what you saw or didn't see over the weekend, but read about.
Yeah, well, agency. So the first night I intended to stay up for, but I did fall asleep.
Of course.
And had a few beers and
Good man.
I was this close to it as well. I woke up at 3 AM and thought, oh, shall I watch the rest of it from now? I thought, no, I'm just going to try and get as much as I can. But anyway, did watch a bit the second day. And so my overall take on it, having never watched a draft before.
Should I get out that message that I got on WhatsApp? Did you see that message?
Yeah, I got some real concerns about the people who spend their hard-earned cash to go into a stadium to watch this kind of thing.
Yeah.
They should all be on a register. There's a lot of potential sex offenders.
Really?
Right.
Whoa!
Where's this come from?
Just watching them in the crowds cheer away, all dressed up like
It takes one to know one. There's no
need for that.
There's no need for this.
The guy,
everybody who attended the draft.
Not everybody.
Is a potential paedophile.
A lot of them are not necessarily paedophiles, but dangers, people to watch.
Dangerous to society.
They've turned up to Arlington, Texas, from like Cleveland or Indianapolis, from a long way away. Texas is in the middle of the country, so it's a long way from anywhere, pretty much. spending big money, dressing up in all the makeup and that, standing around in a room for 5 hours while business deals go on.
And the teams trade out.
And then one deal gets mentioned, and they all have to get really super excited about when the TV camera comes on. My takeaway was,
You're wrong with this, aren't you?
just don't trust people who spend a few $100, I imagine, to be part of this.
Right.
Weirdos.
Right. Going to watch
There's been a fan and there's been a fan.
Right.
These guys take it
I
too
got a
far.
WhatsApp message off me at one point. I think it was it might have been on the Friday night saying, and you've watched this shit every year.
Yeah. It's gone proper. It's gone proper Hollywood, or they're trying to make it go proper Hollywood, aren't they?
Yeah, that
So
annoys
they're
me a little
really
bit, to be honest. But yeah, I understand. It's interesting. I think every city's trying to outdo the last one. I think Dallas probably failed a little bit, mostly because it wasn't really in Dallas, was it? Arlington's outside of Dallas, and they couldn't really get involved. Like, I think Philadelphia had it on the steps running up to the Liberty Bell in the middle of the city. Chicago had it right in the middle of the city. Everyone got involved. I mean, there was still loads of people there, and the atmosphere seemed pretty cool. But it just felt
TV
like
figures, which are all important for the NFL now, obviously. After this last season, everyone cares about them.
Yeah.
I think the highest they've been for a draft.
Really? Oh, there you go. Yeah, I don't know where it's going next year. I don't.
Well,
it's probably decided, but I don't know.
Maybe we could have it here at the Knots.
Yeah, why not? We'll cram everyone in this room.
Yeah, let's have it here.
Dude, it would be a lot better if it was just in a small pub.
Smoky filled room.
Essentially, it's what it is, isn't it?
Like
but
that.
it's just been magnified.
A nod to history there.
Yeah.
And all these war rooms, it's just,
War rooms. Yeah.
I'm not watching it again.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the
Barely
war room.
watched it this time. Let alone
Exactly, it was too much. That's my takeaway from it.
That was your take from it. My take, I know, because I know Sai's got some facts and tidbits. I mean, you're going to throw out.
Yeah, got a couple, yeah.
But I'll throw out my take. Just thinking about what we saw from last year's draft class and the success of Kareem Hunt and the success of Alvin Kamara. And I know you were particularly interested, Sam, last week looking at those running backs that were going to go second round onwards, and just once you start going through them, you see there's a lot of running backs there who've fallen in with opportunities to be the lead back. You look at the likes of Kerryon Johnson, in Detroit, Darius Geis, of course, he fell to Washington. Who was the fellow that the Broncos took? Royce Freeman, was it?
Yeah, Royce Freeman was that third or fourth round.
Saquon Barkley.
Your man Saquon Barkley. But Ronald Jones in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're looking around and going, a lot of these second round and later, I mean, not to mention, as you say, Sam, the running backs are in the first round, but real opportunities for them to step up and by the end of this season leading their teams out of the backfield.
Big issues for you two as well, not for me, not so much. I was coached through it anyway, but in terms of fantasy.
Well, it's interesting.
You coast through it like you do every year.
Yeah, big time.
We'll have a little discussion.
And I'm not allowed to. I'm not involved in the podcast Super League, whatever we're calling it.
Super League, like that name.
Podcast Super League.
So I'm not allowed to touch that team. So
For good reason.
But there's going to be a couple of running backs there that are going to be a little bit of a cheeky picking. What 4th, 5th round?
Do you want Wardy's fantasy advice?
Go on.
Sam,
Early doors.
Which of these running backs early doors I'm liking in terms of opportunity?
Guys, big time.
I'm liking Geis in Washington. If they're getting that offensive line back together next year, Trent Williams.
He'll be back.
He'll be back.
Yeah, injuries really decimated.
There's no real competition there. My mate, the rise and fall of Samaje Perine, sadly not.
No.
I don't write him off yet. He's still there.
But
Fat Rob.
To your point, mate, there was value to be found at running back, and there always is through every round. I mean, obviously, the lower you go, you've got to temper your expectations. For instance, in the 6th round, Dallas Cowboys selected Bo Scarborough.
Yeah.
Now, by anybody's analysis who knows what they're talking about, he was worth more than the 6th round pick. You're right. There is a concern about whether he will transfer or not, but at the very least, he's a impact player. He's a big guy.
Okay.
This guy can definitely do maybe something along the lines of the Garrett Blunt, just goal line,
third
down.
I think he's too big for that role in a way.
Kind of running back. Could even translate to a fullback then, if you know what I mean. He's certainly got value. Getting the 6th round's great, you know what I mean. Especially when you're set with Zeke, you might only need Scarborough's come in 5-6 carries a game.
Okay, yeah.
That's ideal. You can find talent at running back all the way through it, definitely.
Interesting stuff. And Si, your take to lead us into our opening discussion?
Well, Sam will like the first one. Looking at the colleges and who got players drafted and things like that.
That was the production line again, is it?
Alabama had 12 players, which was 5 more than the next team. 7 was the next one. LSU, Ohio
What did we have
State.
first round?
You had 4 first round, mate.
It's the 4 this time, 5 last year, wasn't it?
Is this particularly unique? I mean, I've not followed the
It's
college
unique.
and the draft.
It's not unique that
You
Alabama at the
guys-
top of the table. It's unique that they have 12 picks go in the draft. And that's 5 more than the next team. That's remarkable.
Yeah.
I said the LSU, I said Ohio State, NC State, which is traditionally a basketball school, have had an excellent draft in terms of players going.
Yeah.
Bradley Chubb being the main one.
Yeah.
Lots of talent throughout the rounds, going after both of them.
Looking ahead to 2019, I have to say it's going to be Auburn. I've got a lot coming up.
Well,
that will stick in his craw.
I'll be honest with you, lads. I'm a little concerned about my fighting Irishman next year.
You've lost a lot of
We've lost a lot of our
offensive
talent,
line.
haven't we?
You say a lot, mate. Texas and Notre Dame both had 4 players go
Wow.
this year. So,
I'm proud of the boys. We had 2 go in the top 10. I'm proud of the boys.
what else did we have? We had 2 brothers go in the first round for the first time in NFL draft history.
Yeah.
Tremaine Terrell Edmonds went to the Bills and the Steelers respectively.
Lovely moment, obviously, when Terrell Edmonds was picked by the Steelers with Ryan Shazier coming out. And,
Oh, awesome pick, awesome pick. I'm sure we'll talk about that.
yeah.
What else do we have? My favourite part of this whole thing is the booing. 2 spots. Roger Goodell. He's just never getting away with it, is he? He's getting booed. Doesn't matter where he is, what he's doing.
Didn't he try and bring out a load of like Cowboys legends onto the stage with him, as though almost to like hide amongst them and maybe not get
There was
lose?
those NFL legends, weren't there?
No, he had
Aikman, didn't he?
he had Aikman, Jason Witten, and Irvin.
Didn't he have
Michael
all
Irvin,
on the stage.
10 Hall of Famers, didn't he?
Oh, at one point, yeah.
Start.
It brings out different people at different times, but yeah, he just roundly booed. I mean, I think to be fair to him, he takes it with good spirit.
He does seem
But
to, yeah.
but
I think it's probably
the
intended in
Cowboys
quite good
fans
spirit.
who were in attendance, they were doing some booing. I mean, because
The Zeke
from the
Elliott
second
thing,
round
I guess.
onwards, they get guys in who represent the teams to set the picks,
Yeah.
and they bring some Rummans in, some real like guys in, and some of the funny things, like we all saw the Philadelphia Eagles pick David Akers, the kicker, obviously looking for a career after
Absolutely
life in the NFL, just torching them, saying the NFC East champs, the division champs, the conference champs, the world champs. Last time that the Cowboys won a Super Bowl, these draft prospects weren't even born. He was
So funny.
going for
Little
it.
kicker giving it
No,
loads.
Michael Vick came out and was booed, so he gave him a little bit of stick about never losing to Dallas. It's awesome, you know. Like, fuck you, you know what I mean? Not been beaten by you. You could all pipe down for a little bit and things like that.
Except apparently he had lost to Dallas twice in his career.
Has he?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he's got the mic, so who gives a
Who gives it? Yeah, you can say what he
I bet
wants.
Dallas fans did. Hang on, did he?
Yeah, yeah.
suppose, yeah, quickly Googling it on the phone now. Yeah, hang on. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Shut
Some
up.
funny names went in the draft. Green Bay had a bit of a time of it. They picked your boy,
My
Equinemius.
boy, yeah, could he St.
Only
Brown?
4 rounds after you were hoping. In the
6th rounder. There we go.
Also,
do
got
some
another,
damage there alongside Geronimo Allison.
another good name.
There's
But
a great
how
name wide
about
receiving core.
Marquez Valdez Scantling?
Brilliant.
So that's 3 wide receivers.
Brilliant.
Cracking him.
All in Green Bay side.
All in Green Bay.
Well, that's
Philly
offense.
now have an England wicketkeeper
Long with-
protecting Carson Wentz's blind side in Matt Pryor, which is
Matt Pryor, wow,
pretty good
fantastic
pick.
career
a bit of a
change.
squealer though, isn't he? A bit of a.
He was a bird of a gobby one Pryor, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He liked
Yeah, not a squealer, he's just. That's
Oh, he's an
kind of-
asshole.
No, that's kind of
Yeah.
a wicket-keeper thing anyway. Obviously, they're
Chatters.
the
The wikis,
they're
the mouthpiece, yeah.
And I think he's probably got like, him and Kevin Peterson don't see eye to eye.
No. Interesting.
Well, it goes with my esteem for that.
Oof.
Matt Pryor sent me off on running the Brighton Marathon.
Did he?
He was
Personally,
Well, go on, Sam.
just
he fired the gun.
me and several
7,000
thousand others.
others. Right, yeah.
He was there.
I love you, Matt. The only other thing I wanted to talk about in terms of the draft was the nice moment when Andre Reed and Fred Jackson got up, and that was they were all set to announce the Bills draft pick. I think it was 2nd or 3rd round. Can't
Fred
remember
Reed
which one.
being elite Buffalo legends.
Yeah, Buffalo legend.
Right.
Andre Reed's a Hall of Famer. And Fred Jackson probably won't
Super
be,
Bowl winners with him. Something like
but probably not. As you well know, they haven't won a Super Bowl.
that. Bowl finalists with them.
Oh, Andre Reed, yes, a few times.
Yeah.
But they, instead of deciding to announce the pick themselves, they dragged up a fan who was in the stands. A guy called Pancho Beer, or how he's
Pancho
Biller,
Beer.
I suppose.
Is he actually called Pancho Beer?
Well, what do you
Yeah,
think?
that's fine. Yeah, don't ruin the illusions.
Right, sorry, just checking.
This
I just wanna
guy's
get it.
a Dallas or a Texas native, I'm not too sure, but he's been a Bills fan pretty much for the last 20, 30 years. Been to every home game apparently, every event, suffering from cancer, going through chemo at the moment, and they dragged him up on stage and he was proper emotional. It was a really nice moment, really nice moment. It was one of my favourite things that I love things like that, I mean, to be honest. Anything like that, and obviously, you know, when we get to talk about Shaquem, we'll get into another little thing that was nice as well, but these moments, I mean, like, for starters, it gives Goodell a respite from the booze, but they also, they're entertaining and, you know,
it makes the whole 5-hour circus worthwhile.
It's not worth trudging through.
It's a labour of love, my friend.
Labour of love indeed. Now we are going to get stuck in, folks, to the first round. We're going to go through all the picks. And I suppose, I mean, well, the obvious place to start, of course, is number one. So
is LA?
Good place to start, isn't it?
But a pretty good place to start. What surprised, you know, most people up until about an hour, 2 hours before the draft. No one.
He'd gone in and out of contention, hadn't he, in the 3-month build-up.
But nobody
Not for number one.
suspected Baker Mayfield at number one
He's top. I mean, like,
to the Cleveland Browns.
You guys know, obviously, I do NFL Draft UK. He was my favourite quarterback.
Yeah.
And when you have those 4 quarterbacks in that top tier, like we had in this draft, and it's hard to separate them. I put Mayfield my number one guy purely because I just enjoyed watching him the most, and I don't know if that meant anything or not. I think everyone had a different take on who was their favourite quarterback. Sam Darnold had loads of people who liked him, obviously Josh Allen because of his measurables, and Josh Rosen because he was ready to play, you know. But I love the fit. I think Mayfield with that attitude. Cleveland needs somebody who can just win games, you know, a guy who just won't refuse to lose. He's played 46 games at college, this kid, more than anybody, and he's won most of them. You know what I mean?
Mayfield's a heart pick, isn't he? His heart over head, isn't he?
I think he's a bad pick.
No, I think he's a great pick, but I think that's what. Because I've got to say, I would follow my heart on it as well. I think he's just got that little spark, a little bit of something that I think.
I won't call it X Factor, but he's got that. He's gonna grab the team by the balls and grab them through wins.
If you're looking at it on the page, then he's not number one pick, is he? Realistically. But if you've just watched him at college level, if you watch how he is, you think, he's going to grab that role and just take it.
But you look at his college career. Sorry to interrupt, Rob. This guy was a walk-on at Texas Tech.
That's what I was going to say.
He's a walk-on at Texas Tech. Like, he didn't get a chance there. He went to Oklahoma from Texas Tech, which is a step up in class. Was still a walk-on at first until they eventually offered him a scholarship. Took the job, got the job, and turned into a Heisman Trophy winner. And obviously got themselves to the national championship playoffs, and was very unlucky to get beaten by Georgia in the semis, really.
And I think
awesome
from everything I've heard about Baker Mayfield, this is a guy who just lifts everyone around him. He's got one of those leaders, that force of personality. And this is a franchise. This is a losing franchise. This is a franchise.
They need guys like that.
Nothing but misery for 20 years.
I bet John Dorsey loved this guy. Like, matches his kind of outlook on things. Like, let's just go and fucking win the football game. You know what I mean?
This is a guy who could just become. He could flop. Obviously, I mean, anyone could flop, but he's just got. Not everyone could become basically the superstar of the team for a decade or more. I think he could become that.
Yeah. One last analogy, you won't like it.
Go on.
If you compare him to like an old school football player, someone like Graham Souness, who just rallies his team around him, has got that edge about him.
Right.
Obviously planted the flag.
The kind of guy who would run
at Ohio State, which
Fantastic.
Souness did at Galatasaray.
Yeah,
But also a guy like.
I would say it's a bit more dangerous at Galatasaray than Ohio State.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
But the point, I don't think he knows of Graham Souness, so it's not like he's thinking, "Oh, this is a great idea."
Sorry, it was for Galatasaray.
He's emotional. He wants to win, and when he doesn't mind getting into it. A bit like Philip Rivers, like he was stunned the silence against Kansas, who were a poxy football team, and Kansas people apparently giving him grief all over the thing, and they're battering him by about 30 points just down the sideline, grabbing his crossing. Suck this in what's happening now, mate.
They started that.
Like they did start that.
Their three captains came out and refused to shake his hand.
Really?
If you're certain like buttoned up, collared like NFL franchises, you're not going to like that. But if you're Cleveland, you want to win for the first time in God knows how long.
That's it.
Give me the guy who doesn't mind getting into it with
the
somebody.
kind of city Cleveland is as well. I think like that kind of
collar.
It's like blue collar stuff, isn't it?
We love all the cliches. Love it.
Oh yes, fantastic.
Get him in.
Fantastic. How soon before he starts, or?
Well, depending on how training goes, he starts first game.
It starts this season. I don't think it starts next season.
Yeah. Following that, as to say, well, we had Baker Mayfield. We might as well talk about the next three quarterbacks.
Yeah, I suppose it affected how the quarterbacks landed, didn't it?
Record-breaking year, wasn't it? First 4 quarterbacks in the top 10.
Yeah, that is a record. Yeah, 5 in the first round.
And well, the Jets.
Jets followed up at number 3 with who we thought. I think most of the the first weeks building up to it, wasn't it? Was Darnold was probably going to go.
Yeah.
Number 1. He sort of moved up to that.
Yeah, and then I think Cleveland started throwing some smoke screens out about Josh Rosen. Sorry, so Josh Allen rather.
Yeah.
And then when Baker Mayfield's talk started happening 24 hours before the draft, I started thinking that's another smoke screen.
Right. Okay.
Turned out it wasn't.
Darnold looks most like an NFL quarterback, doesn't he? I think.
Yeah,
big holes.
It's a funny thing to say. Yeah, he's got a massive head. It's funny. Yeah, I suppose that is what tips it for you. I've watched these guys, and I think that it's hard to. I watched Sam Darnold, he's got great. You can see he's got the potential to be a winner and be an NFL quarterback. But when you watch him play, it just doesn't look like an NFL quarterback, and that's what always annoyed me. And that's why I always had him.
Yeah.
Probably the 4th out of the top 4 for me personally. It just aggravated me when I watched him. He was kind of jittery in the pocket. But he's a winner. He's a bit like Baker Mayfield. He's a winner. And when he got on the stage, he said to them that you can expect a lot of wins.
A lot of wins.
And I think the Jets, they got a guy here. The first guy they can hang the hat on for a long time.
And the guy they wanted as well. It's funny, isn't it, watching the Jets last season trying to tank, trying to do their best to get that
maybe from a front
pick.
office perspective. But coaches have got to be given a lot of credit for that.
Absolutely, yeah. But despite all that, as you said, they had a respectable season. Still ended up getting the guy they probably wanted, and were thinking they would have to be at number 1 again.
And I think the guy he's replacing wasn't he drafted in the same year?
Josh McCown.
Josh McCown I think he was drafted in the year Darnold was born.
Because he's only 20, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very young.
Yeah.
That is a fact, man.
I think that's right.
That's great.
Oh, I thought you come loaded with that one, so you think he's right, but that is a good fact if that's true.
That's great. It makes sense because he's nearly 40.
It wouldn't surprise me if
might be a year out with
the way Josh McCown played last year. Wouldn't surprise me if Josh McCown starts this year as well.
Yeah.
I think Darnold's got an excellent chance to see the field before the season's out. Not because Josh McCown's brittle, but because I think he's the kind of kid who grows quickly. He might not have as much upside as say Josh Allen, who's got the physical tools, but he has that. He just looks smarter. You know what I mean? He can be able to get it quicker. I think.
Quick question though. The Jets obviously traded up from 6 to 3, got their guy. Ifs, buts, maybes, I suppose.
Could they have still gone at 6?
Could they have still got him at 6? Because when you look at the picks they went after, he would have been there.
Let's assume that the Colts wouldn't have taken.
Colts wouldn't have. Denver might
have changed their philosophy. And then at 5.
And Browns might have suddenly found a trade out as well.
Someone might have traded him.
I mean, let's face it, other teams might have jumped in for him at that point.
Yeah.
I think it's the right thing to do. You can't argue with Mike McCagney. It takes a lot of balls to move up before the draft from 6 to 3. I think he got great value, but some people were moaning about the fact he gave up 3 second-round picks for it. I think the fact he didn't give up the future first-round pick, like some teams did to jump up in the first round, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And the Bills need credit for that as well, which I assume we'll get onto next.
Well, the thing is, it's not a huge jump, is it? 3 places. So.
No.
And it's worth it just to
when you
nail
get
it.
to the draft, the cost exponentially increases.
Yeah. As you say, well, a lot of talk leading into the draft. Maybe it was a smokescreen side, but we were talking about Josh Allen as a potential number 1 overall pick in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Buffalo. By
I'd
their
say-
time, do you think guys here Buffalo may have jumped up higher, but they
got the wrong Josh.
Right.
Alright, I suppose at that point they had the choice of the 2 Joshes.
They did have the choice of 2 Joshes, but what I was saying was they didn't jump in earlier. They didn't give away more. They bought it. They got up to 7.
In terms of moving up value-wise, they did very well not to give up their other first-round draft pick, and I thought that was a great play. And that's why they held off a little bit, because they didn't want to give up both, because obviously they had a need elsewhere as well. But
the big question is, I guess
is Josh Allen the right guy?
Josh, okay. We're talking in cliches, the big arm, big guy in Buffalo, in that cold, in that wind. That's the kind of quarterback.
There's not very much about his college career suggests he's going to be a great NFL quarterback.
Right.
When you say that, most people who say that, they're basing it on accuracy and percentage a completion percentage, and I understand that because at the end of the day you want someone who can throw the football to where it needs to go. But there are two outliers to that in this draft. Right? You've got one who's playing right now in Matthew Stafford, who had 1% better pass percentage rating than Josh Allen, and you had a guy you might have heard of him called Dan Marino with a 1% percentage less than Josh Allen and turned out to be pretty okay as well.
What's that marked on side? These percentages? What?
It's like you throw 100 balls, 56 of them land in your receiver's hands, you've got a 56% passer rating. Now, the difference is, of course, Matthew Stafford played for Georgia, good team in the SEC, and Dan Marino played for Miami, which is a good team in the ACC. Whereas poor old Josh Allen here plays for Wyoming in a no-mark division.
Against
with no mark receivers.
With no corners either. So.
You say that, but 4 games a season he's playing top flight teams like Ohio State and Michigan and anybody around that area who's going to give him a game.
How did he perform in those games?
Not as good as he should have done, and that's the concern.
It's got like it's called the independent quarterback rating system. I don't quite know how it works, but talking about under pressure, he's terrible. Like one of the worst performers.
Is this PFF who come up with this, or is it? Because they're very good with stats, and I don't think they were too hot. They were like me; they like Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I don't think they were too hot on Josh Allen.
I think it is. It's very respectable. But again, he was way below average in terms of that. You're saying about his big arm, but he's only got. I think he's thrown 140-yard plus pass last season.
He can throw the ball. He can throw the ball.
He can throw the ball, but not in game time.
Well, maybe not. I'm not defending him, but maybe the scheme didn't allow him to throw the ball deep. Maybe no one was running deep.
It feels like, without wanting to tell NFL scouts how to do their job.
No, you would never tell anyone how to do the job.
So, I don't know. It feels like they're focusing a lot on maybe his measurables and the combine,
rather
and
than
a bit less on.
And when we talk about
for a season or two,
sure. Again, not
not being an expert on it. A lot of people do watch him a lot and watch.
Right.
Just look at all the numbers he's produced over 2 years, taking into account colleges out, etc., which you can also say about Josh Rosen, because UCLA were garbage last year. Really.
One thing I would say to you, Rob, about it is that if you look at Josh Rosen in general, and you see
Allen or
Josh Allen, sorry, in general, and you watch his game, the problem is probably more about where he's landed in terms of what they already have. If he'd gone somewhere, say, like the Giants, where they can get away with Eli for another year or two and let Josh Allen develop, fair enough. But out of all the teams that we discussed in previous podcasts, went out for that security blanket quarterback in free agency, like Sam Bradford, Case Keenum, whatever, the Bills probably got the worst one in AJ McCarron,
who's unproven.
How long has Josh Allen got to learn behind somebody? Is the concern, I think, in Buffalo.
Okay.
Although apparently, according to Sam, his jersey is the 4th highest selling draft jersey.
Initial figures.
So Bills fans are behind it.
What? I didn't think Bills fans had the numbers to generate the 4th best selling draft jersey.
Number 5, Shaquem Griffin.
In terms of the rookies so far, so.
Oh, okay. No, fair play.
Baker, Saquon, Arnold.
Yeah, fair play.
Josh Allen not getting much love in the desert.
No. Just a quick stat I got on his 40-yard completion rate last year. It was so his completion percentage was 12.5%.
Right. Okay.
40-yard throws, whereas Josh Rosen's, again, they're not a great college side at UCLA, or certainly this year, perhaps historically. Definitely. 71.4%. So for that cannon of an arm he's got,
right,
might not be worth all that much. I'm just big down on him right now.
You are, aren't you?
I'll take it all back in 3 or 4 years' time, maybe when he comes through. I think it'll take a few years to be any sort of impact.
This podcast is going to be massive. I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but we've got a dirty mark on your t-shirt here, and this looks like you've stuck it on with a bit of.
What's going on there?
What is this, mate? You knew you were going to be on camera tonight.
And he's got the bottom, but he's sort of got.
He's always in trousers.
Trousers on. Then we've got sneakers, as we'll call them.
It's an
American podcast. Yeah, it's an interesting combo.
That's what you get for buying stuff from FC Halifax Town.
That's it.
It's the official website merch, is it?
It's official merch.
Yeah, he bought it yesterday.
Well, you know where he should have gone?
I know where he should have gone. I know exactly where he should have
We haven't
gone.
got time for this.
It seems like a great point. Talking about, jerseys flying off the shelves there. Why not?
Perhaps you want to make a custom shirt
Go on,
A
Sam.
bit better than this
You
one.
do it. If you want a customised shirt,
to commemorate or to honour your favourite draft pick this year.
absolutely, or indeed your favourite non-league football team,
non-league football team.
you can go
You go to Royal Flush Designs
You absolutely can.
on Twitter at Ryle Flush.
At Ryle Flush.
Royal
on
without
Twitter.
any vowels in the Royal.
That's
so
right.
keep the vowels in the flush bit.
So not all the letters in Royal, you might say. But Royal Flush Designs, yeah, our Johnny, he'll sort you out. He'll sort you t-shirts, hoodies, whatever you want, customised design. Made beautiful artwork by the team at Royal Flush Designs. And because you are a collapsing pocket listener, you get
Tolerated us.
if you put up with this, these constant plugs, you can get 10% off if you use the promo code POCKET10. The letters in pocket, the numbers in 10. 10% off Royal Flush Designs. That is our sponsor.
And that's our quarterback's done.
And that is not our quarterback's one, because there's one more Josh to mention, is there not? An instant.
Well, I thought I just did.
Rosen.
Yeah.
Oh well, you've segued us into it, but
Okay,
then
sorry.
we had to stop for a sponsor break, so we have to go back in
He's
now.
better
We
than,
have to
he's better
lead
than
it
Josh
in.
Allen in the end.
But here's the,
Is he better than others though? That's the
that's the
question.
question.
He thinks
So-
he's better than all 9 picks above him.
He did, yeah.
He
He,
does
well,
think that.
He
Doesn't
recanted.
if he can, he said just the 3 quarterbacks.
Did he? Did he? He had to come out and say that.
He's a very emotional guy.
Really?
He's off the cuff.
Because
And
he
I
knows,
like
he
that
knows,
line.
he knows
I
full
like-
well that there's a running back and guard there that are much better than he is in this position.
You know what?
Probably left backs as well.
Sam, in our mock draft last week,
LB, wasn't there?
he took Josh Allen number 1 overall because he takes umbrage at the notion that someone very smart, smarter than other people,
Smarter than we say than Sam.
should get knocked down a draft because of it.
Yeah.
Like, this is what people essentially this is what people's worried about. This guy's smarter than them. You know what I mean? He's got something to say about something. Because
Can I
he's
say something
educated.
about this? This struck me as real kind of throwback stuff, real, caveman thinking. This old-fashioned. Oh, he likes more than just football. Oh, he's intelligent. Oh, he's got opinions on things. I thought, Jesus, are we really having this?
To be honest, mate, I thought that might have been there before the draft. When it came to the draft and I saw how things felt, I don't think that's how it really worked. The Browns wanted Mayfield because he's a winner. And he's got that. I think he fits in Buffalo, in Cleveland. Then you went Darnold.
The Jets had always liked him.
Well worth the 3rd pick with the
I
Jets.
think, but I think Rosen would have been much better with the Jets.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think that's a coin toss though. I mean, you can see why they like Darnold.
I think
And then with
Darnold's
Buffalo,
the
they
same
went for the upside, didn't they? They went for the guy who could be absolutely awesome, even though he might not necessarily be as good as Rosen right now.
Okay.
Or he could be just the biggest bust of.
Well, that's well, if you're going to take a player based on upside, mate, we're going to come to the New Orleans Saints in a bit. So
Well,
it's
well,
very careful to, you've got to be very careful to decide how you approach a draft. It's the way it is.
Rosen went at 10 after the Cardinals. Again, I guess similar to the Bills, didn't have to give up too much to move up there and get their quarterback of the future. What did they end up getting? A couple of late round picks
Yeah,
to
I
the
think
Raiders?
it was the 3rd and the 5th to the
We're
Raiders.
not sure what the Raiders are doing, but we'll come to that.
Well,
First round and then the 3rd and the 5th.
3rd and the 5th, right. At the end of the day, the Raiders had to trade down. Great swapping partners. At that point, the Cardinals, it wasn't only the smart thing to do, it was the only thing to do as far as the Cardinals were concerned. They sat there last year and watched the Chiefs jump them,
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
They were not going to sit there and watch somebody else do the same thing. They had to get in front of Miami just in case they were interested in taking a quarterback.
Which they may well have been.
And the 10th pick on Josh Rosen is great value anyway. At the end of the day, we've talked about him last podcast. We've talked about the podcast before. This guy is the most pro-ready of anybody. He's very good to watch in terms of he looks like an NFL quarterback. His timing, his anticipation, all the things you can't teach with Josh Rosen are there. The problem with Josh Rosen, of course, is some people don't really like him. You rub him up the wrong way, and injury history, some concussions as well. So you can understand why some teams may have decided to go a different direction against Rosen. But landing in the desert, you can't. If I'm Rosen, I'm delighted with that situation. You're with a franchise, you've got a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Really?
Maybe not right now, but in terms of history, have the Cleveland Browns ever really got a chance to win a Super Bowl? Have the Jets? It's not all about the quarterback, is it? It's about how that team works, ownership, things like that. The Cardinals have been in the mix for the last 5 years, and they've had a couple of down years when they've struggled with the quarterback.
You could argue, Cardinals. I mean, 10 years ago they were in the Super Bowl, weren't they? So,
course,
fair comment. Fair comment.
Josh Rosen's
Yeah.
happy that he went 10th
No, Jeff.
at Arizona rather than first at Cleveland.
Maybe when he looks back on it, he will be, but not right now. No, I don't think he is.
So that was so as we said, 4 quarterbacks in top 10 picks. Then we come. We'll go back up the board to the second pick overall.
This is going to be a massive podcast, isn't it?
This is going to be epic. We'll try and fire through some of this.
Nothing
stuff.
needs saying. We've said it all about Saquon already. He was perfect fit for the Giants. He's going to. He just the 2 options they've got basically our offense of now one of the best wide receivers and one of the best running backs. So that's what they've got.
The only question would be why they not take a quarterback. I'm happy they took Saquon. It makes perfect sense.
Eli's not done, is he? To be fair.
And if you've got all those weapons around you, what better way to extend someone's career?
Without jumping ahead,
they've got their version of Zeke. They have their own Zeke Elliott now, and you only have to look across the division to see how that helped a team with a quarterback they didn't even know would be good when they put Dak Prescott in.
And without jumping too far ahead into the second round, Eli Manning's got a nice guy in front of him now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, absolutely. And just interesting that historically, say, running backs never been drafted highly, and yet in the last 3 years we've now had Zeke Elliott, started the trend, Leonard Fournette last year.
Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley, of course, Saquon Barkley. Do we think this is now becoming a bit of a theme? Do we think we're looking for running backs?
If you look at this last season, though, how many rookies had sort of transformative effects on the team?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we talked about it, didn't we? Hunt, Kamara.
You don't have to get them in
Fournette.
the first round, obviously, like Howard at the Bears and things like that.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said, like, let's face it, if you have to say who's the best running back in the leagues right now, you'd probably say Zeke.
I wouldn't.
Who would you say?
I'd say it's Alvin Kamara.
I think in terms of pure bulldozing running back, yeah, I'd go Zeke.
I'd say traditional running back. I know what you're saying,
Yeah.
and to be honest, if I'm thinking fantasy, not to tip my hand, but podcast is more important.
Make a note, folks.
I would pick Kamara over Zeke, but if you when you want a running back,
Yards from
when you want a running back, you want it to, the primary job is to run the ball, isn't it? At the end of the day, Zeke Elliott is not just about the first yard, the second line. He wears teams down. It's more about the philosophy of the game. Like, you know what's happening when Dallas come into your guard. They're going to batter you. Like, the Saints are going to use Alvin Kamara. Sometimes Alvin Kamara had 20 yards on the ground, but 100 yards in the air.
Yeah.
And that's not to disparage him. Obviously, that's the talent I'm so happy to have. But in terms of a running game, they're coming back in vogue, not because the position was ever devalued as people suggested it was, but because there's talent on the board that's well worth a first round pick. Saquon Barkley was by far and away the best person in this draft.
And then up at 4, the Browns may have been hoping Barkley was there for them at 4. They had the option of Bradley Chubb, they had the option of Quentin Nelson.
Give this to Sam, shall we?
Let's give this one to Sam, because we know with Cleveland, we know that there's going to be question marks about any time they pick early in the draft because of what they've done historically. Sam, Denzel Ward, cornerback at Ohio State, Cleveland
I'm going to say
Browns.
this quite a lot, but they ballsed it as well.
Do you think they
ballsed it?
Cleveland,
Yeah, so
they ballsed it.
if nothing to disparage Denzel Ward, he's very, very talented.
Is he worth 4th pick?
Got a good surname.
You may say that.
Average.
But the reason Cleveland stayed at 4, short of they just didn't get a good enough offer.
Well, that must have been it, surely.
Which might be it.
That is it.
Must have been it.
But the thing beyond the quarterback, which obviously needed serious attention in Cleveland, their secondary needed serious attention, and not just the core, the entire backfield needed sorting. And the way they could have done that at 4 was a man who fell to 11 at Miami. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick, who is an all-round defensive back, but mostly safety at Alabama. I rate him so highly. I think he
can play.
I think he's Marshawn Lattimore this year. I think what he'll do to Miami, he's given Miami a secondary that will be intimidating, also just on his own as a pick. And he could have done that for Cleveland. And I don't think Denzel Ward does that for Cleveland, even though he's a very talented corner and will be a good player for them.
Well, that's interesting.
I think they could have just done a lot better.
I completely agree with you about Miami. I think Minkah comes in and does an absolute staunch job, and we can talk about 11 pick right now if you want.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Miami 11 pick Minkah Fitzpatrick.
That's a phenomenal pick.
Safety
he fell down the draft. The way I book what you're saying there is that you're basically saying that Minkah is almost twice the player that, well, maybe not almost twice, but certainly superior a player to Denzel Ward, and I'm not sure that's the case.
I think in terms of his role on the field, I just think he's so smart on the field, he understands the game like anyone else. He's a leader on the field.
That is true. That is true. Yeah.
Which he's done. It was just phenomenal at Alabama. Genuinely, you said you've called their Saquon the best player on that draft ball by a long way. I said it last week as well. I think Saquon's probably second best to what's his face, that guy, Quentin Nelson, without getting into it. But Minkah Fitzpatrick is the third one. I think those three are players who will just come in, start straight away, and turn teams around from week one.
This is the interesting thing about the draft. I had Minkah high. I didn't have him in the top 3. I had Tremaine Edmonds above him.
I think Sean Lattimore is that.
Yeah, I like the comparison. I do like the comparison.
Do that. I think could do that to any team.
Do you know who I think has got a better chance of jumping? Is Derwin James. We'll talk about it in a second. What the only thing I would say about, and I understand if they pick Minkah there, I think it would have been an awesome pick. But the one thing that the Cleveland want, ever since Joe Hayden left town, is a shut down outside corner.
Yeah.
And the one thing that the question mark on Minkah Fitzpatrick is, everyone's talking about it. He plays safety, and I think he's awesome safety. He can come into the box, be that kind of Troy Polamalu, run stuff in line back if you want. He can play slot corner, he can play nickel corner. Can he play outside corner? Can he do what Richard Sherman does on a weekly basis, match up against the best wide receiver in the game and take him out? And I'm not sure that's his game. I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm saying that's not his game. And if you're Cleveland and you want Denzel Ward because he is by far and away the best outside corner in this draft.
Are we talking shut down corner potential?
Shut down. He's shut down. He is shut down. And as you well say, he is shut down. And if you need that on your defense, if you're Greg Williams, and he's an arsehole, but if you're sticking with Greg Williams and he wants a shut down corner, ever since Joe Hayden left town and went to Pittsburgh because he binned him off, and you want the guy. This is the guy, and and no one's going to come up and take the 4th pick off him, jump above Denver, because no one believes Denver's taking a quarterback.
My counter to that is that's not the only thing Cleveland needs on that back 3.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely. So following that, then we did have I guess the next 2 best players available in a lot of people's draft boards. The Broncos grabbing Bradley Chubb, pairing him with Von Miller. That
awesome.
sounds lethal.
Only Philip Rivers will be able to cope with that. Nobody else.
Just quick, obviously.
By dashing the ball away.
Obviously, John Elway at this moment not tempted to grab his quarterback. He's
talking point, isn't
put his eggs in the Case Keenum basket, or the Case Keenum case. You might say so.
Yeah. Good luck to him.
See how that goes.
Well, just like Sam says, just not talk about it too much, but we might get the 2016 Case Keenum, in which case, the clock strikes 12 and you end up sitting there with a bloody pumpkin, and not the guy we all thought he was last season.
But then
that's the problem.
He's probably got enough to carry the playoffs.
At the very least, he's better than Trevor Siemian, he's better than Paxton Lynch.
We'd think so.
He's better than Brock
Osweiler. We'd think so.
You can take that to the bank case if you like. You can have that on your CV. Better than Trevor Siemian. Right,
the collapsing pocket hero Brock Osweiler, you mean? Right.
Anything but.
The number 6 pick, Indianapolis Colts. They were very happy, I would suggest,
on the board.
to grab my fighting Irishman, Quentin Nelson, the guard. I drafted him for Indy, didn't I, last week in the mock draft.
You did. Well done, mate.
Keeping Andrew Luck on his feet. Simple as that, I guess.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be.
And he's a beast, isn't he? 6'4".
I thought 6'4", wasn't he?
He's a massive bastard.
But
he's a big boy.
Watching him throwing fellas,
What I've noticed about a lot of offensive linemen in the NFL is they are quite large.
In-depth analysis there.
You go.
That's what you know about Quentin Nelson.
It's not unique to Quentin Nelson, is what I'm saying.
Just give the best sports podcast award to us now.
I imagine, with just a guessing, he's more than 300 pounds. That's a guess.
Yeah, he's about 300 pounds. Let's face it, we've talked about it. Obviously, the Colts need to address their offensive line. They need to protect Andrew Luck. I got some grief on Twitter from a guy who said, "We've done this, we've done that." Yeah, at the end of the day, you've done it, but it's not worked, has it? Yeah, now you've got the guy who might work. But more importantly,
who gave you grief on Twitter?
Oh, some dude who's saying it's not. I said no, I don't know his name. I don't know I can't remember his Twitter handle, but. He said something along the lines like, it's the first time in 3,000 years that the Colts have decided to protect Andrew Luck. And he said, well, that's not me. We drafted Jack Newhart, we drafted the centre, we did this. Kelly, I can't remember who it was. But
No. Who's Jack Newhart?
Newhart is a guard.
Exactly.
They picked Kelly at centre. And they do have pieces there, but they've never ever been able to keep them up right. And all these pieces seem to have come in post Ryan Griggs, and even though he did do a couple of things. All I wanted to mention was that this is probably better for the running game than it is for the passing game because he's a guard. And I think that's just as important for the Colts, because if you manage to establish a running game, then Andrew Luck's going to have a great time.
Yeah, sadly they got rid of Frank Gore, but you know. Anyway, then, as I say, Buffalo at 7 with Josh Allen, the Chicago Bears at 8, Raquan Smith. Dresses in needs.
Does, great pick.
Yeah, great pick, we like that one. Sorry, Bears fans.
Yeah, we've got to move.
Well,
We've got to keep
skip
moving.
over this next one as well.
What I will just quickly say, Chicago Bears love what they've been doing this
Brilliant
offseason,
draft.
including the
Brilliant.
draft.
Off season, awesome.
Yeah,
Matt
yeah.
Nagy, great point.
Real nice.
We love you,
Chicago,
Bears.
my kind of town, etc., etc.
gonna
Speaking
skip
of my kind of town,
We're going to skip over these boys as well. Yeah, it's a great pickup.
San Francisco 49ers, Mike
Right.
McGlinchey, offensive tackle, Notre Dame. Well,
Yep, decent enough.
quite a good record of Notre Dame players going to San Francisco, isn't there, Si?
Who else?
Economy statement.
Mighty Joe.
Couldn't you?
Mike McGlinchey.
Bit of a reach.
Yeah, some people suggest a bit of a reach.
I slept on it.
I'd have taken. I'd have liked. I don't like Fitzpatrick here. You know what I'm saying about sorting that second reach.
I think we're going to go into this a little bit later, but it's
But
there's a high value on offensive line this year, isn't there?
yeah.
Well, he was the standout guy. I mean, I know I had Connor Williams higher on my NFL draft UK board, but that's because he could play left tackle in San Francisco. I slept on it for 24 hours and I thought all of a sudden I changed my opinion on it.
Yeah.
McGlinchey's a right tackle pure. It doesn't matter in San Francisco. They've got Joe Staley on the left.
left tackle.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you have just basically daylight robbery, got yourself a quarterback off the Patriots last season,
We'll keep him on his
yet
feet,
to
please.
lose when he starts.
Yeah.
The priority is to make sure that guy is healthy, safe,
Make
and
it as
play.
easy as it possibly can be for him, because
Because
it's still a bit unproven.
Yeah.
I'll leave Sans out that
It's
one.
okay. It's okay. Let me have that one. But I totally.
That's
give
his
you-
role,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's a bit of a reach, but it's not too bad for them at all.
Yeah,
And
I think that.
Any other team, maybe
Take
not.
away, yeah,
I
yeah.
like that.
We've talked about the Cardinals and
11,
Rosen.
we're on to pick 12 here.
Dolphins is Patrick. Pick 12, Tampa Bay Buccaneers grab Vita Vea. Probably grabbing him before the Washington Redskins, who picked next at 13, who did need a defensive tackle. They grabbed Deron Payne, Samson from Alabama. We think they're boys two
Yeah,
solid
two great
picks.
Two great defensive tackles. The one thing I would say is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traded out from 7 to 11, so they got great value and still picked a player they wanted.
7 to 12. Yeah.
Obviously passing a safety, which is the only thing about it, but absolutely fantastic value.
They did pass on a safety,
Yes, they did have
and
to.
we'll come to that at 17. But before we get there, wow,
Here we
look
are.
at this. When did the New Orleans Saints get the 14th pick in the draft, Si?
When you lot were in bed and I was staying up watching it, the Saints, they had the 27th pick, they moved up to the 14th pick.
It's caused all the
It
excitement.
cost them a 5th round pick this year, which sounds like nothing,
Yeah.
but it cost them their 1st round pick next
First
year.
round pick next year.
And everybody on social media, everybody on the NFL Network was thinking they're going for Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
They're on there,
Yeah.
they're getting the backup quarterback, they're
Time's
getting the
up,
heir
Drew.
apparent to Drew. No, that time's
Yeah,
up,
I
Drew,
know,
but you know.
I know. I'm
And,
teasing him.
and
Just
when it
remind
came
me.
out as Marcus Davenport, you should have felt the weight of like expectations just drop like a thud
It
on
was
the
bizarre,
ground.
Thing
wasn't
is,
it?
that's the strange
Go
thing.
on. Defend yourself.
Well, it's just I would be a lot more disappointed if they made it's a high price they paid for that pick, and it's been said, everyone say it is true about Mark Davenport. He's probably a project maybe, whereas actually he just needs someone in that position right now. He's going to have to go in there and see how he does, which was true of
Lattimore last year.
not Lattimore, as we knew he was going to be.
I'm going.
What position?
Begins with a K.
Come on.
Kamara.
No, Ramchick.
Ramchick. Begins with a K.
It's got a K in it.
There's your opening.
Just.
There's your opening drop for next week's pot.
Begins with a K. Ramchick. Kevin Ramchick, I think his name is.
No, it's not. It's right.
Ryan Ramchick. That's it. Begins with a K. Yeah.
But so he got sort of he had a bit of a backfield fire.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
and Davenport's going to have the same, except with a bit more focus on him because he's gone for that pick. But going back to this reach up for him, which he'd done,
Yeah.
and I was like, they're getting in Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing that reach for a backup quarterback who may or may not turn into, it just seems that's a lot more of a reach really, just to throw away all that choice on a possible.
The thing is, they're in win now mode.
That's it, isn't it?
So yeah, you're right in that regard. In that if you're spending future picks and picks right now and moving up for a quarterback, it doesn't really make sense. But in terms of Davenport himself, very raw talent, got some upside, but there's two guys I want to compare, and I was talking about you about this, and probably didn't really give it away. But if you look at the past two drafts, the guys you can compare Davenport to is Ryan Shea's, not in terms of position, but in terms of getting hot late in the draft because they've got upside and they're not quite ready, but they've got so much raw ability that you can't not take them. Is Ryan Shazier for the Steelers, who went 15th overall, and Hassan Reddick last year, who went to the Cardinals 13th overall. So it's not like he's out of position at 14th for the Saints, but the cost they gave up to move up there is the big concern for Saints fans.
I think, you know what, I think Sean Payton and Mickey, they're feeling themselves, aren't they? They're feeling themselves. They got some swag after last year's draft class. They're going, do you know what? Yeah,
well, they've got a lot to prove.
Well, the other thing about me, I thought about that, last year's pick, so give them the benefit of the doubt. It's like, well, we'll talk about the few years picking before that then, shall we?
Correct. They have a Super Bowl window though, let's face it. They've got 2 years with Drew Brees, and they didn't pick a quarterback to the heir apparent to him, so they're all in on these next 2 years, and if Davenport is ready to go, then everybody else is going to be sat here looking like lemons.
Usually they might have a quarterback.
Here we go. Yeah, we'll see how that one pans out. Let's talk about the Oakland Raiders at 15. They traded the 10th pick. They moved down to 15.
On the subject of reaching,
to pick Colton Miller, offensive tackle from UCLA. There's been the raised eyebrows in the Bay Area as to what Gruden and the Raiders have been up to so far this off-season. And I'm guessing those eyebrows aren't going to lower anymore
This was
after this
shite
draft
pick.
pick, are they?
Shite pick. I agree completely. I mean, it's very hard to. Analysing tackles, offensive line in general, is hard for me because it's not natural. It's like it's like a different language.
Yeah,
really,
okay.
I can't really do it. I just didn't like watching Colton Miller. I don't think he was effective. I don't see the first round value in it whatsoever. I had him lower than a guy from Oregon, Tyrell Crosby, who went the 5th round. And this is the weird thing about what you can say is that Colton Miller just has some upside. So like you can see he has it in him. He's just not there yet. And when he gets that, he says, this is what the draft's all about. It's about what they have now and what they can be, kind of thing. The Raiders obviously trade down. So they obviously knew he wasn't worth the 10th pick. He probably wasn't worth the 15th pick either. He probably tried to trade down at that spot as well. But Reggie McKenzie, if you look at the rest of his draft, he's very much a guy who's identified talents he wants, and he tries to put them into certain spots on his draft board and picks that he has. And if he can't move down, he's taking them come what may anyway.
This is the way of the Raiders. Al Davis approach.
Look at Joseph, the secondary guy in last draft. Not last draft, sorry, 2 drafts ago. They've got a lot of players that they do the similar thing with.
Darius Saywood Bay.
Yeah,
you go back historically.
If you look at their draft class, it really does scream of Al Davis in terms of speed
That's what
guys.
I thought.
But certainly to the 3rd round anyway.
There we go. Buffalo Bills back in, as you say, did a great job not giving away that second first-round pick because they got, I know, from a guy you weren't too fussed on side to a guy you were very fussed on in Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker from Virginia Tech.
I just look a bit disappointed he fell so far, really. I mean, I know that people get momentum. This guy was named as one of the top guys early on, sat in there whilst other people started moving up the boards. But to me, he's a middle linebacker in the mould of Ray Lewis you're just not going to find on a regular basis.
Wow.
He hits hard. He's always up in your business. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what's going on. If it's a pass, if it's a run, he's there. Every time he's there, and he's a nightmare. And Buffalo Bills fans should be delighted that they've got this guy. If that was the only pick they had in the draft, and they got Tremaine Edmonds at 12, it's a phenomenal draft anyway.
Excellent stuff. And then, well, speaking of excellent stuff, Derwin James, we were talking about him earlier. Safety. God almighty, did he fall into the hands of the LA Chargers at 17?
There's a couple of nice
do the cameras there you go. He's giving it a
There's a couple of nice secondaries to come up here because you've got Derwin James, safety, and then J.R. Alexander, next pick to the Packers.
J.
Great, I mean
Jaire.
Jaire? Jerry?
It's J.
JJ.
J. Alexander at 18 to the Packers. That addresses a need for the Packers.
We're skipping over Derwin, are we?
Let's quickly mention Derwin.
They're 2 great secondary players.
Don't compare J. Alexander, who I had down as a 2nd round pick, to Derwin James, who I had a top 10 pick.
They're both.
What?
Derwin James were possibly 10. He could have been.
He could have been 7 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and this
but
guy.
I don't think either of those have don't think either is
guy
an
just-
outrageous place in the pick for draft.
Derwin
for
James
either.
basically finishes off the Chargers defense. It was top 3 last year. It's going to be hard. I doubt it's going to be dropping anytime soon.
Does he know what to do when he catches the ball with 90 seconds on the clock and he's 3 points clear?
You've got a better chance than Trey Boston, if that's what you're saying. Jair Alexander, to me, I think they got better value in the second round with Josh Jackson. I really do. I think if they swapped those picks over, I'd be much more happy. I know a lot of people like Jair because of his upside, but he's lightweight, and I think he's scared of contact.
Really?
Well, nice with the packages they've got on both. So
Yeah.
they got 2.
Well,
I think 2 near enough shutdown corners, actually not far.
Yeah,
off.
Kevin King. Something about Packers.
Kevin King from last
Kevin
year.
King last year, they spent their last 6 top 3 round picks on defense. 4 of them on the secondary.
Wow.
They're going out of it, and Brian Gutekunst had a good draft, to be fair to him.
Dallas Cowboys surprised. I mean, great player, Leighton Van Der Esch from Fulham heard, but surprised a few that they went for him there when they, it wasn't necessarily a position of need. Is that a case of picking the best player available in their eyes?
He probably was looking at who else went after that without. Unless he was desperately wanted a wide receiver, maybe.
They didn't ban the receiver or the tight end business considering what happened in the draft. I like the fact that Van Der Esch is a machine and will be productive. It just concerns me that they've got Sean Lee, they've got Jalen Smith, now they've got Van Der Esch. Because the other guy moved to, I can't remember his name, but he moved to Kansas City in free agency. Anthony Hitchens, moved to Kansas City. So now they've got 3 guys who are ultra talented but also injury prone because Van Der Esch has got injury concerns attributed to him.
Well, perhaps that's what in that case was needed. Just
What,
do that
another
rotation.
guy with injury concerns?
Well, no, just that rotation system. So you don't. So
Well,
they're not
now
going
they-
to
yeah, they've got 3 great
out of
guys.
the physio's room.
Yeah, they've got 3
Well,
great
they're taking it out
guys
of the
who might
pitch.
not be on the field.
Yeah, but-
I'm just saying. I mean, I think it's awesome. I love Leighton Van Der Esch. It's just that's one concern that Dallas Cowboys might have.
I feel it was quite. I think Eagles have done the same, haven't they? Not the first round, but they got themselves another linebacker, didn't they? Where it's just plug in the just another one. Like,
Eagles got themselves.
And they did it last
tight
year.
end where they had, one of the
exactly,
best
it's
in the
like they
league.
can sort of rotate that sort of defense system
And
over and over, which I think pays dividends.
the Lions at 20, they sort of pinned their colours to the mast, didn't they, with Frank Ragnow,
I like that.
centre at Arkansas. I think from what we saw with the Lions, they've kind of gone, right, Patricia's come in. What's our strength? Our strength is our quarterback. Let's do what we can to protect him, to keep him on his feet. Let's try and build this running game. As you say, the second round pick, Carryon Johnson, the Garrett Blunt's in there. They haven't had a 100-yard rusher, as we know, in Detroit for God knows how long.
5 years, mate.
There you go. So we think we don't mind that pick, Frank Ragnow?
No, I mean, there's
So
3.
there's question marks about it, wasn't
Yeah,
there? Because
three-
there are other
we thought
needs.
It's not glamorous, is it?
It's
At the end
not.
of the day,
Yeah,
if you're a
there are
Lions
other
fan-
needs on the Lions.
Yeah,
It's,
there's 3 senses in this draft who were very close: Billy Price, James Daniels, Frank Ragnow, and whatever order they went off the board, I'm not really worried about. It's just interesting. They had Graham Glasgow already, a centre there, which I think will shift to guard. It's just a case of building that interior line. They're definitely looking at how they picked Carryon Johnson. They picked another running back later as well. They've obviously got beefier on that running back thing. They've re-signed Zenner. They picked a fullback.
Yeah.
They have signed LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah.
They're going out for a running game.
Yeah.
And they're going to punch people in, and obviously Carryon Johnson's going to be the home run hitter.
Yeah.
I think because that guy can run like the wind. I mean, he's got skinny legs, and it's a bit concerning. But I just think that's what they're doing, and it makes complete sense. Matt Patricia's coming over now. It's the one area I'm delighted they addressed it.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, when it picks out in the first round, you've got to wait 24 hours to take a running back. It looks like God Almighty, what are they doing? But I think they did it all right. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, I think it's reasonable. Like I say, it's not the glamour pick, is it? But
No.
at the same time, your running back's not quite, but your running back's only as good as your offensive line to an extent, isn't he?
As
is
is
your-
your
How good would
quarterback.
Zeke be?
Yeah. I mean,
So-
Matthew Stafford must be happy with seeing a few offensive line.
Well, like we see, and then straight away another centre went Billy
Yep.
Price straight after the Bengals.
And the Bengals need absolutely.
And neither of these guys are on our,
Bengals nailed
neither of
it.
these guys are on our mock draft last time. They haven't been featured.
Billy
that
Price
high.
is.
Was he on our mock draft last year?
Oh, I don't know if he was on mine. He was on mine. Sorry.
I don't think I think mock drafts get a bit carried away by, like you say, with the
Glamour picks.
The glamour picks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
And it's very easy for GM to do that as well, I suppose. So
Yeah.
fair play
Centre's
to them
one of the
not
most important positions in the NFL.
doing-
Yeah,
It's probably might be a slight dearth of talent as
It's hard, yeah. It's like linebackers. You only get 2 or 3 that are elite coming out every year.
Yeah, absolutely. Tennessee Titans, Rashawn Evans at linebacker from Alabama, solid.
Seek and destroy linebacker, great pick.
Yeah, and Titans could get after the
About time
pass a
too.
bit more, couldn't they? Now then, first pick for the New England Patriots up at 23. Isaiah Wynn becoming offensive tackle from Georgia, and yet another offensive linesman going in the first round. A lot of good things being said about Wynn from what I was reading leading up to the draft.
Sam loves him. I'm very big on this guy. This guy is probably the most athletic, I'd say, lineman in the draft. He's, I think he's interior, so he's moving into guard. And it didn't sound like that before the draft, but next day they went and traded for Trent Brown from the 49ers. Obviously, you got McGlinchey now. You can afford him.
Sure.
All of a sudden, you got your right tackle in place.
Yep.
They might be short left tackle, obviously Nate Solder's out of the building, but I do believe that Wynn will probably slot into his guard because that's where his upside is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good pick.
I mean, I really like this pick, the Carolina Panthers getting DJ Moore to stretch the field. What did Steve Smith say?
You just not about to say you like it, but you don't like it because of Steve Smith.
I liked it once Steve Smith confirmed it. In fairness, if Steve Smith confirms anything, you gotta like it. What did he say about DJ Moore?
He said it's his spirit animal, and he said that they've never really replaced him when he left until now. Which is a bold statement.
Statement to make there, but yeah.
Bit self-indulgent, but you know, I'll let you guys tell Steve Smith that.
Looks like a handy pick there, stretching the field in Carolina, which they, since Ted Ginn has gone.
Strange actually, because he wasn't the best on the board, was he?
Not in my opinion, but it depends. He's very shifty. He's very quick at the line of scrimmage. And if you look at how the Carolina Panthers have moved from a power offense to a speed offense, they've got rid of Kelvin Benjamin. They've marginalised Devin Funchess. Now they've got Curtis Samuel and Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore. They're definitely going for speed now on that offense. No 2 ways about it.
Nice stuff. Baltimore Ravens, their first pick in the first round.
What a draft they had.
Yeah. Ozzie Newsome's goodbye present on it. Yeah, tight end Hayden Hurst. A lot of people high on this guy from South Carolina.
Yeah, I liked him.
Nice story as well, this guy.
He's my favourite tight end. I was surprised he was the first tight end for football because there's some guys out there who are ultimately like Jimmy Graham White tight ends who can catch the ball and make big plays. This guy can do it all, and I like that about him. Ozzie, the one position he's had a bit trouble really nailing down is tight end. He selected Max Williams a couple of years ago, didn't really do anything. He had Todd Heap back in the day, he was okay, but I think. And since then, I mean, Dennis Pitter been alright, I suppose.
Pitter did well, in fairness.
Maybe a bit harsh.
Bit harsh on Pitter there.
Baltimore certainly an area of need tight end.
Rob's your tight end expert, of course.
I do like a tight end.
A bit unusual.
What are you? I don't like that.
He's always bang on about fantasy, isn't he?
I do like a tight end. Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst, interesting one.
Did you get tired of him to play up to the stereotypes?
No, it's fantasy wars. You always bang on about tight ends.
It's a difference maker in fantasy, that position, I tell you.
Damn right it is.
You get
using. I've never had one. Look at me, I'm fine.
I've often had one out of Jimmy Graham for numerous years.
You drafted your game in the first round.
The interesting thing.
I didn't know we got
last year.
Yeah. The interesting thing about Hayden Hurst, not just that he's the first HH to be drafted in the.
Yes. Yeah. Another HH going.
Another.
It's what sport did he play before this?
Did he play basketball by any chance?
Baseball.
No, baseball.
He's a little older. I think he's 25.
He's 25, or he will be 25 at least when the season starts. And he was previously drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Was he really?
As a pitcher.
I like this story. Yeah.
Out of I can't remember what school he was at. Boles School, Jacksonville.
Right.
Didn't work out for him.
He didn't work back. He didn't want to play. He wanted to play football. He went to South Carolina.
South Carolina. Walk-ons tight end there.
Dominating. You should see his pro day, mate.
Really?
Honestly, God, his catch. It's like, it's so nonchalant. But it's like it's not an Odell Beckham catch, but he does an out route, he dives out, and whoever they got throwing for the ball at South Carolina threw it far too wide for him. He just grabs it with his fingertips, brings it in, turns around, doesn't even make a big thing of it, just runs up the sideline. As I say, that's normal for me.
He's got sticky hands, this guy, mate.
Oh, there we go. Give him his goal.
There's question marks on his defence, I think.
Sticky hands, sand his pants.
There
But
we
he's
go.
got- no, his catching is what sets him apart a little bit.
Love it, mate.
Okay, interesting. Well, Baltimore need people to
I'm
catch.
going to give you a job at NFL Draft UK, pal.
Atlanta Falcons, they couldn't resist the talent. You know, there was possibly
Wide
other
receiver these
decisions of
boys, don't
need. They went for Calvin Ridley, Sam's boy
Two
from
Bama
Bama.
boys down in
yeah.
Atlanta now.
Shitting it
Calvin
out.
and Julio. I guess.
Well, it's the most competitive division in football, if that's what you're referring to.
It is now.
I mean, we thought they needed a defensive tackle, really, didn't we? Perhaps they didn't like the value of what they saw there. Calvin Ridley, best wide receiver in many people's eyes. There was a
Really, at
lot
that point, I think you've got to take him, haven't you? Whether you desperately need a wide
He's down in
receiver or not.
26, why not? Yeah. Well, after that, we had the Seattle Seahawks.
Here we go. We'll have to discuss this.
Rashad Penny, the running back from San Diego State. I mean, of all the positions they needed.
Well, they certainly needed a running back.
Oh, they do. No two ways about it, but that's
Well,
not
they
the
certainly
issue.
do, but
It's
yeah.
not unlike
Yeah.
Detroit, where perhaps they should have addressed the slightly
He
less,
calls him Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
slightly less
Mitch Egan.
offensive. People call it Detroit in Detroit. So
No, they
some people do.
Well, when they go,
If you're
"Oh,
from-
Detroit, like
If
that."
you're from
Yeah, big
Detroit
time.
or Detroit, let us know how you
They're
pronounce
doing
it.
both. It's like New Orleans and New Orleans.
So no, you're right. No, the Seahawks needed a running back, but
But
Rashad
why
Penny
not?
at 27.
This is absolutely terrible. But this is just the amount of the amount of running backs they could have had here. is Just,
Oh, look at this. He does some notes, mate.
Notes.
but no, I've got some of the figures for this NFL.com ratings basically.
Okay.
So it's out of 10. And there seem to be very tight margins on like two
Get on
decimal
with it,
points. I
come
don't
on.
understand why it's quite so tight. But Rashad Penny, they've got us giving him a 5.85 rating. I don't quite know how it comes to these. But it's not unremarkable.
Well, that means he's probably going to. He will definitely be a starter in the NFL.
Gives him a chance to start at the NFL if you're under 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Saquon Barkley's got 7.5, which means Pro Bowl caliber. You got Sony Michel or Sonny Michael, or a combination of those 4 names. Went a bit later for is a 5.91. Nick Chubb 5.79. Ronald Jones the second.
Yep.
6.01. That's
Second.
I think it was second one.
He is.
Kerryon Johnson 5.83. And then Darius Geis, who's a boy who's slipped way too low, 6.14. So he is an instant starter on their rating scheme. So what I just don't understand quite where Seattle were coming from with this pick at running back. They have much better options
Yeah.
if they're going to go in on a running back in the first round, which the names listed there they didn't have to.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Totally.
But
totally.
it's just such an error for me.
It has. It's certainly. We're making a call here, are we? I think.
Do you want to split the pod? It's like an hour and a bit already.
I feel like we're
Oh, we
up
can
to
get for the first round.
We
We
can
can
finish the
get for the
first
first
round
round.
and then
We can
come
do
back.
the- yeah, next
Come back
Tuesday.
next week and do this. The yeah.
I'm
Second
happy with that.
round.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Look at this. Listen,
No,
this is how you conduct it on the fly.
I was gonna say it's gonna take like 2 hours.
It is going on, isn't it? We're up to nearly an hour.
I don't
and
want
10, and
to.
we're
We
not
don't
at the
really
end
want
of
to
the first
shy
round.
any team of the draft stock.
No.
You know what I mean? Like we're nowhere near the end of the first round yet, and I think we're still
That's
going to
right.
talk about
Yeah, so about to
significant-
really lay into.
Well, yeah.
Running
Let's.
back.
I'll tell you what, folks. That's what we're going to do. We're going to finish the
I'm
first
pretty
round,
angry about Darius Geis going at 59th overall.
and we'll come back next week and we'll discuss these other various
There we
elements
go.
of the
What
draft.
have we got else? Have we got to talk about?
We're
The
not
next
going to
6
talk
months?
about the 6 months, is there? So we might as well. Yeah. And if you don't like it, sod yous.
Yeah, fuck off, mate.
Well,
Right.
come on, guys.
What?
If you don't like it, let us know. We'll try and
Right,
improve
rate,
for
review,
you.
subscribe, all that bollocks. No. This is how we're
We
doing
appreciate that you listen to
it.
us.
Yeah, and all that. Yeah.
And we appreciate any feedback as well. Don't listen to these 2 cunts.
First C-bomb on the podcast.
I was going to say, I think that might be the first bit of feedback.
Yeah,
we
you
get
heard it.
less of the C-bomb.
People like the C.
They don't like the C-bomb. My mate Kev, Fireman Kev, yeah, he listens with the lads at work, and he.
What's wrong with the rest of the lads?
Fireman Kev doesn't like hearing swear words at work.
No, he's a family man. He's a family man.
At work?
Yeah, listen. Maybe he listens to
You're
it
a
at
family
home
man
with
at
the
work,
kids.
Sam.
I don't know, but he
Look,
doesn't like.
I'll tell you what goes on at Fireman Kev's work at his firehouse.
What happens?
Ping pong and pornography. Right, that's all they do while they wait for fire to come
I
in.
do apologise. I do apologise for
Ping
my
pong and pornography.
for my
That's
one
all they do
my
in the firehouse all day
my
long.
one-time friend Sam. He
That's
knows
the name of the podcast.
he knows not of what he speaks.
Volleyball if it's sunny.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a respected profession, that.
I respect him very
Right.
highly. Jealous of them, man. If I could get paid for
They're
that, I would.
heroes. What are you? What are you? Still getting a fucking counter.
He told me the other day not to me at ping pong. I told him he's off his head.
Yeah.
Ping
No,
pong.
true, yeah,
I'd sort you a lot of ping pong.
Oh!
Okay,
Here we go. Here we go.
Just be absolutely clear, my top hand is devastating. So.
I've got a proper unconventional like backhand when I should forehand it, and it's
good.
awesome.
I don't know what this is, but
Yeah, I've got quite a solid wrist wrist action.
Actors, bless him.
Sorry guys, we're completely going off track here.
It doesn't matter, we're splitting the punt to two.
Splitting the
That's
punt.
fine.
So hang on, just to be clear, are we splitting it now?
No, we're splitting it in the first.
I picked 27, or am I going to lay into the...
No, let's lay into Seattle now. We've been trying to gloss over it, but they dropped a bollock big time.
Right,
haven't they?
here we go.
Let's
Let's have a go at the shout talks.
So let's face it, right? Rashad Penny, great running back. Obviously, great value on special teams. I just don't understand what they're doing, thinking they can afford a first-round pick on this guy. I know John Snyder came out and said, "Oh, we've already had trade offers after the draft for this guy." I was like, no, you haven't. Don't talk utter horseshit. No one does that. That's not what's happened here. What's happened here is you picked a running back because you're sick and tired of the fact you don't have a running game, which makes sense. We've all discussed it on the podcast before. They need a running game. But what's the one position you can get value in later in the draft?
Running back.
Running back. Why are they doing that now when they've got an offensive line that's
Offensive line that
absolute
needs
pony?
sorting, and who were, again, just slightly skipping ahead to next week's pod apparently. In round 2, pick 33 and pick 34, both guards.
Correct.
Are both very
Big time
talented guards.
Big time
Well, I
guards.
assume one's going to shift into it.
Yeah,
Tackle.
but okay, two very talented.
I like it.
offensive
Oh,
line-
how covert, Rob.
Two very talented offensive linemen who Seattle need a lot more than they need second, third round bloody.
Yeah.
I don't mind Rashad Penny in terms of first round pick. I think he's got good potential. I just think that they do not have that luxury to pick that guy there. And I'm not going to get down the Seahawks draft because after that I thought they did okay. I thought they had a good draft. I just think that it was so. They obviously traded back the first opportunity they got with Green Bay. Great move, and I'm sure they tried to do the same thing again at this pick, but it just quite simply wasn't there. And in that case, you have to take the best talent available when you have literally 9 needs on your team.
Those two linemen, that's what just.
And also, I mean, it is a
the second round. Why not? I'll name them: Austin Corbett and Will Hernandez. Why on earth didn't it be either one of those?
No.
Just to give them something there.
Something on the other line, yeah.
Again, not getting too far down. It's still not resolved.
They've got a lad there, Chris Carson, who come out last year, who they really like. He went down injured at running back. You know, okay, it's a position in need, but at the same time, there's interesting pieces in there. There's Carson, there's Mike Davis, J.D. McKissick, CJ Pro. There's options there.
Yeah, there is, but they've had this story before with Thomas Rawls. Like, they got Thomas Rawls who went down injured and he might be back next year.
Yeah.
I can understand why they thought they have to have a running back.
Yeah.
But it's not like you have to be this running back.
I just thought, anyway.
They've been pretty bad in the draft for a while.
And to be honest, I know they didn't have a second round pick, but there's an outside chance he might still be in the early in the third. They could have traded up in the third to go.
Yeah. Steelers, their first pick, as I say, lovely moment when Ryan Shazier came out and announced the pick to be Terrell Edmonds, meaning that he joins his brother Tremaine, going in the first round for the first time ever, as
First time
to
ever
earlier.
there's been two brothers in the
Yes, thank you for that. And did you know that Jimmy Graham played basketball at college?
It's very good.
Did you know that Sam's a cunt?
I knew that a lot.
What do you think
I
of
thought
the
we'd
pick?
agreed not using that word.
Let's rein it in, boys.
We definitely agreed to speak the truth.
Alright.
Pittsburgh Steelers, Terrell Edmonds. Any comments on that?
Yeah,
side?
it's a bullshit pick. I'm alright.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
I'm not saying
It didn't jump out at me.
Terrell Edmonds is one of those. I'm not getting down on certain. At the end of the day, we don't know how these guys are going to translate.
I didn't feel like a first round.
And so maybe 3 years down the line from now, Terrell Edmonds might be an awesome safety. But he was probably going to be there. This pick, second round.
Yeah.
So they could have got him in the second round and who did they get in the second round? They got James Washington, a wide receiver from Oklahoma State. They could have might be able to get themselves, an elite wide receiver or somebody else who fits a need on the board right now. They went and identified a guy that they thought that's awesome for our team, but they were so fixated on that they picked him in the first round. As far as our board was saying, and I'm not the only one who thought this, and I know Sam thought this as well. You had Minka Fitzpatrick and Derwin James fighting it out for the top spot of safety. After that, Justin Reed, the safety from Stanford, was the next guy. even Ronnie Harrison, who fell to the third round, was going to be available in the second round. But they felt the need to take Terrell Edmonds, who for most people was a second round pick at best, in that first round. I know it, and I know for a fact that Steelers fans will be happy that at the very least it covers an area of need. And who am I to question Kevin Colbert when he's had such success drafting players? But it just feels like they could have got him for much better value.
And he's made, it's a nice story.
I'm not interested.
Oh, well, that's what it's about then.
I'm not interested in the slightest about that.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are trying to build, I think, like the greatest defense to ever walk the planet. Because you mentioned Ronnie Harrison. They eventually grabbed him at safety in the third round. They added to the defensive line. They picked up a player with a rhyming name, Taven Bryan. Taven Bryan, defensive tackle from Florida, staying in Florida. Maybe could have gone Lamar Jackson here, Jacksonville.
No, Sam fancied it.
Jackson at Jacksonville's got room to it. I don't know, Taven Bryan adding to the defense. I mean, I guess sometimes if you've got, no reason why you shouldn't add to your strength. I suppose there's an argument for that. Got a strong point, make it stronger.
The Eagles have done it in just having that rolling.
And just go, this is where we're awesome.
You're not going to get any respite.
Who are they copying here? Which team are they copying? Philadelphia Eagles.
What is this?
So much. I wasn't listening to God.
Literally just had that conversation. As you were.
As you said then, Sam. It's the blueprint, isn't it, for a Super Bowl?
Yeah, just have that. Just like I said, it's just that rolling.
Sorry, mate.
Just that rolling front line defense.
You dropped a ball there, didn't you?
But you can just,
Well, you're right,
Sam. You're not going to get.
Yeah.
What?
Three lads going off.
Yeah, as long as
who's coming on?
Yeah.
Oh,
and even if you can get in a position where you go, right, we'll just keep their defence on the field for as long as
they've got
possible.
Malik Jackson and Marcel Darius starting at defensive tackle, but Marcel Darius' contract thinks up at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Then you've got them guys going obviously stuff to run. Then on third down, oh God, thanks God, one of these guys going up. All of a sudden, Taven Bryan comes on. He's going to push the pocket and cause absolute havoc in the back.
And you can't get into a position where an opposition is going to say, well, we're just going to get we're just going to keep our offence on, or we're just going to keep our offence on for as long as we can here and not give you a chance, because their defence is going to say, you're coming off straight away, boys.
Yeah. We're not going to get tired. We're not getting tired whatsoever.
We're just going to take you off straight away.
Yep. Similarly, the Minnesota Vikings addressing an area of strength, just building. Mike Hughes gone in.
Oh, it is a strength now that Terrence Newman's recently.
Well, we thought as Terrence Newman's replacement, but as before we started this pod, we found out that Newman signed on for another year. He's going to play at 40 at cornerback.
I've got to be honest, mate. It's not about Newman. To me, this replaces Trey Waynes at cornerback. Xavier Rhodes.
He's been offered. They picked up his option.
Yeah, they picked up his option. Yeah. I'm not going to say he's a bad cornerback. I'm saying Xavier Rhodes has shut down corner on one side. To me, Trey Waynes has been a bit of a disappointment. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I think he's been a bit of a disappointment. He came in the first round out of Michigan State, supposed to be, this really dominating cornerback who's, I think he's just a bit reckless. And I think he's much more suited to the slot sort of nickel corner job. Since he's had to go out on the outside, and obviously Terrence Newman's 39, he's not going to be playing outside corner for the rest of his days. I just think he's missed tackles. He's done things he shouldn't have had to do. I think Mike Hughes is possibly his replacement, moving back into inside duty. Trey Waynes, another pick to his fifth round, his final year, but I don't know if they'll give him a big contract after this. I really think that I'm just a bit disappointed in his pick.
Interesting. The New England Patriots were up again at 31.
It's got to be Lamar in it, Sam.
Well,
no,
this is what we were all thinking.
It'd be a weird pick for the Patriots.
Why would it be a weird?
Would it?
Because he's not
Tom Brady.
The Tom Brady mould, yeah.
Because everyone's talking about it, so.
Do you think
he's quite
the opposite?
I've got to be honest.
He's a very different quarterback.
Of course he's made, but
there's no reason why that.
Back in 1982 or wherever it was when Tom Brady got picked, do you think with 199th pick overall, Bill Belichick thought, oh well, this guy, we'll put him in because he fits our system, he's the perfect guy. Did they? They got Tom Brady in, Drew Bledsoe went down injured, they found this guy, they worked around what he had, which is obviously a great pocket passer with no mobility whatsoever, and they went from there. I don't think they're going to look at the next quarterback and think we have to have the same guy as Tom Brady. I think they go and get, this guy's got talent and we will mould an offense. Belichick and McDaniels between them can come up with any kind of offense for any kind of talent.
That's the way that Belichick's in it for long enough to mould a new quarterback. Might be.
I think this draft says he is. I think the one thing this draft does say is that the behind Brady and Belichick's going nowhere for a while. I think it just looks like they're doubling down on everything. the pick of Wynn, obviously.
Yeah,
dressed the defensive
trying to
line.
protect Brady
And
even
then
more.
Sonny
yeah.
Michel. I mean, let's face
Sonny
it.
Michael.
Sonny Michael.
Like,
We need to. We'll get this nailed down by.
Let's have it. Sonny
September.
Michael. Let's have it now.
the Patriots love a running back, don't they? Let's face it.
They do.
have
But they've
to have-
got enough, haven't they?
Yeah,
There.
well, they already have 4. They
I
had,
mean,
they had,
you've got Sam Smith-Gillisley, you've got Jeremy Hill, you've got James White, you've got Rex Birkenhead. Do you know what I mean? Sexy Rex from Birkenhead. But you just
Sexy
got,
Rex, yeah. And I mean, obviously
That's a
they
lot,
lost
eh?
Dion Lewis, but I mean,
Dion Lewis is gone. Yeah.
all those guys are role players. Apart from maybe, I don't know much about Jeremy Lewis and how he's going to fit into into New England, really. But
Jeremy Hill. yeah.
did I say Jeremy Lewis?
Jeremy Lewis.
No, I said
Jeremy Lewis. Yeah.
But yeah,
Jeremy Lewis was a comedian, wasn't he? Have you seen
Jerry
the
Lewis
King
was
of Comedy?
I have. It's
De
one of the
Niro,
great
great
films of all time.
Yeah. Sorry.
I just don't think that any of them is really
Better to be a
a starting
king
3
for a
down.
night than a schmuck for a lifetime.
That's the quote.
Why? You know when I let you have that time to talk about this, and you wait for me to start talking before starting talking about it again.
I know, but it's a good line, isn't
It's
it?
a great film, Si. As you were, Simon. Sonny
I'm
Michael.
not talking about it apart from the fact that he's a 3 down running back, which is something that the Patriots really haven't had for a long time.
Well,
He's a very good running back for them. He'll do damage for them, probably in the playoffs.
There we go. So that's Sonny Michael. And number 32, the final pick in the first round, folks.
Alluded to more than once.
They traded up, and Ozzie Newsome, his parting gift, the Baltimore Ravens, is their quarterback.
Now
of the
this is a
future.
real change.
Lamar Jackson. You're speaking about a change of approach from Joe Flacco. Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson, I love this pick, and I don't like the Ravens, as you know.
Oh, no, yeah, it's just, but it doesn't feel like a Baltimore kind of player, does he? It feels like they just need to. It's got kind of a bit of a smash mouth team, aren't they?
Well, they're in the AFC North, I suppose.
Yeah,
They've been
okay.
built on the defence for a while.
And he's not a smash mouth player, you know. He's not
And he's flamboyant, I suggest.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love
Is
the
he?
word.
Okay.
He is. He's definitely flamboyant.
Is he a bit of a Cam Mark II?
No, he's a Michael Vick mark.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's just been the main comparison.
That's
hasn't
his
it?
main
Is I can't find a player to compare it to. Like, what I like to do on my website is to compare people
Sure.
to people. So just give somebody a feel for what they are. Some people don't like it. I've had some bang out comments on there on Twitter.
People are coming after you on Twitter,
big
aren't
time,
they?
big time.
Really?
I compare Christian Kirk, a second round pick for the Cardinals, as John Brown Mark II, and you should have seen the uproar. Controversial thoughts, said this one group, and this guy, what? So he's always injured and never quite realises his talent. I was like,
Oh, wow.
no, that's not what I'm going for. I'm more about, like, you know,
Which John Brown are we talking about?
his physical attributes and, you know, the way he plays on the field. John Brown is now gone to
The one whose body's not a mouldering in the grave.
Right. I don't know any of them are.
As you were.
Why'd you ask them? And
Just
then
for
one,
listeners
I
that
remember openly questioning after the second round the Oakland Raiders draft philosophy, and one woman who was
Oh, the
like
Raider Nation got on you,
mid
didn't they?
50s from California,
Did she?
tweeted, "Why don't you just go and eat some crumpets?"
That tends to be a fine thing.
Simon taking on the black hole. I love it.
Retweeted that, enjoyed that one.
Brilliant.
It's
Brilliant.
English crumpets because they're two things in America, aren't they? No, it's English muffins a crumpet, isn't it?
No, I think they know tea and crumpets.
They know
That's
tea
the
and
phrase,
crumpets,
That's
they
the phrase.
use
That's
that
the phrase. She
expression
knew
all
what she
the
was
time,
saying.
don't they?
I mean, I was already drinking tea. I don't know if she could see me.
Because
but,
the thing is, Sam, in America, their humour's really original. So you know that's got to go down well, isn't it? If we've got any American listeners, I do apologise.
I'm not going to get into all that cliche.
Lamar
crap
Jackson
making here,
and the Baltimore Ravens.
I think it's a fantastic pick. I think that, you know, they're lucky for the heir apparent to Joe Flacco, who's had back issues. He's obviously not been the same guy as he was 5 years ago, 4 years ago when they won the Super Bowl. You know.
I quite like the way Jackson and Hurst might link up.
Interesting. I just think he's to take advantage of any weapon he's got at his disposal. He's one of those guys who can do anything. He's unconventional, but if you have the quality of coaching, you adapt. That's the same in any sport, isn't it? We always talk about how managers come into teams in football, and the bad managers try and make a team play a certain way, and the good managers are more adapt themselves and make and play to the team's strength. And I think that's the way that it is here. John Harbaugh is an excellent coach. Whatever you think of the Ravens,
Yeah, he is.
I know he's had three losing seasons, but he's an excellent coach.
To have won a Super Bowl with that team, that no,
You
fair
cannot
play,
argue
John
with it,
Hardway,
not
yeah,
whatsoever.
When Lamar Jackson's college stats, I don't happen to have them sadly, but for the last 2 years, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
It's like something of Madden, isn't it? It's
Heisman
just
Trophy, mate,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Had 2 years
Heisman
ago,
2
yeah.
years ago, he was nominated again this year with a very similar stats record, but Baker Mayfield just sort of pipped it really.
And
just-
less weapons at his disposal.
Possibly just
Louisville
like-
dropped off the clock a little bit.
Yeah, and realistically, Baker Mayfield only sort of, I think
It was so much.
Baker Mayfield took advantage of the fact that Lamar, they didn't want to give it back to back. I think.
And not only that, but the aura around Mayfield gave him that thing as well.
But his throwing yards, was ridiculous, and then his rushing yards were the same, and touchdowns, and
So
just
why
everything.
hasn't he been discussed with the top 4? I mean, he has by some. Some have called it a top 5. But let's be honest, generally speaking, and we saw it as the draft played out, why hasn't he been up in that?
Do you want the honest answer? The honest answer is his ceiling is off the charts. But his floor is significantly low.
Yeah.
There's issues. There is big issues. People talk about his accuracy. I'm not buying into that. But how many times have we seen this style of quarterback survive in the NFL? You've got Robert Griffin, you've got Colin Kaepernick. I mean, they're two bad ones. It's bad examples, but like I can go on for like people you won't even know about, Mike White and things like that. Quarterback you just never heard of. But in terms of quarterbacks like this who survived, there's one, which is Russell Wilson. Like, okay, Cam Newton's a little bit like it, but he's nothing like this guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Michael Vick did it back in the day when no one was expecting it. It's a little bit different, and he was an ethereal talent.
Deshaun Watson in the similar?
No, I don't think he is. Deshaun Watson's a pocket passer who knows what to do when he gets out of the pocket. I think Michael Vick's the best comparison because that's exactly what Lamar Jackson's going to play like. He's going to be that guy who you just can't touch, and if you can touch him, then he might get injured, and that's the issue. It's not the only issue, obviously. Like whether or not he will fit in the NFL is an issue. It's hard to understand why he's not a sure bet, if you know what I mean. But if he does take off, God Almighty, it's going to be something special. It really is going to be something special. I understand why Ozzy did it in his last draft. He's left Baltimore in a position where they have so many options. A great last draft filling positions of need, but also like Joe Flacco's he's a one-dimensional quarterback, which is normally the dimension that NFL plays in, so it's fine. But with his back injury and the fact that he's not been doing it for the last few years.
Goodbye, John.
What you couldn't have expected a completely different change of fortunes for the Baltimore Ravens.
Could be something special, Sam. This podcast could have been something special. Instead, it was what it was. We'll let you decide. And if you like us, rate, review, subscribe.
Yeah.
Where will you find us, Sam?
On iTunes or any
Listening output.
Apart from
SoundClouds.
because of Robin Bastards,
You have to pay for sound.
It's not really Robin Bastard, it's probably quite reasonable.
No, it's Robin.
Yeah,
Reasonably
Not having it.
Reasonable.
We're joining us next week for the best of the rest.
Best of the rest next week. I'll be in Brighton on tour, but I'll have to ring in.
Really?
That we split the pot.
Fuck it, we're going Brighton, mate.
Come down Brighton. Let's do a live pod in Brighton.
Oh yeah, we'll go to you, mate.
You come to me, mate. That's where the party's at, you know it. Right,
Brighton.
thank you very much, folks.
So if you're in Brighton and like to see
Yes,
a
if you're
play
in-
about gay boxers.
Absolutely. You get yourself down to...
Boxers on or off in this one?
My boxers will be on.
Is it?
We've cut the nudity. We had to artistic decision to cut the nudity. Yeah.
New guy's not keen on getting his knob out.
Basically. Yeah. So what do I say?
Pulls on seats.
Don't know why, it's definitely bigger than Wardy's.
Behave. Behave. Nearly knocked your eye out, didn't you, on the front row?
No, yeah, I was worried about that.
Nearly had his eye out, I did. Right, so there we go.
What were you doing it pointing that way?
I was Siv, artistic license.
I'm not pitching the show again. Yeah, very kind you mentioned it. Brighton Marlborough Theatre, 9 PM, May the 8th to the 10th if you're there, Gypsy Queen. That has been our pod, our post-draft pod. We'll be back with part 2 next week. Wow, we're an hour and a half. I hope if you're still with us, thank you.
You know, I do like the fact that we thought we'd get the whole lot in one.
I told you, Ken Dodd, this is, staying for the whole
That flew
night.
by for me, but anyway.
There we go.
Ring in.
Open it for
I don't know how
YouTube.
you're going to ring in, mate. We ain't got no speakers, but yeah, go on.
We'll work it out next week, I'm sure. We're on over there. As for now, that's that. So this pocket has well and truly collapsed. We are on the retreat, and we will
Not
speak to
unlike
you.
the Oakland Raiders draft
Draft
selection this year.
selections, just so she can come at us one more time.
I don't even know her name. I'm going to find out her name and I'll retweet it.
Well, I'm off for a nice crumpet. I don't know about you folks. We will speak to you all. We'll speak to you all very soon. That's been Sam Aykroyd.
Good night.
That's been Simon Carroll.
Cheers, guys.
I've been Rob Ward. You can call me Wardy. We'll see you very soon. Ta-da. There you go.
Go for the same spot again.
Is he going for the sweet spot? There it is. No. No, he's got it.
Great.